You know, for a small book, it's got a lot in it. A lot in it. And I like the fact that it's been meshed. The book a couple of books ago, maybe Riptide or Hemlock, there was a story that was started at the beginning and it was left and it wasn't picked up till the end. And she's going off again. Every time I do a video, she's going off. I guess it's only right. She went off last year during this video too. Only last year I was doing 30 at this particular junction. But anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where we read books and we talk about books. No special effects, no theme music. I'm sorry, my thumbnails are inadequate. I'm not catching your attention. I am sorry. I do lots of work on Flashback Monday. If Then Fridays, if you like this author, they maybe like that author, and my recaps. I work really hard. I'm reading a book as fast as I can, doing daily book reviews. I do about 15 videos a week, and nobody knows I exist. Nobody knows. I just want people to know that I exist. I'd like to get the views. But anyways, let's get to it. Book 10 in the FBI Sherlock Savich series. And future books, Sherlock and Savich will play smaller and smaller and smaller roles. But this particular group of books, they are playing a good, significant role, and I enjoy that. I like that we're introducing a new couple each book, but we're also getting lots of Sherlock and Dylan, Lacey and Dylan in the books. And Lacey and Dylan are FBI agents, and Dylan works with a computer a lot. And they have a boy named Sean. And we also get to see other characters that we've met in previous books. Now, the last three, 11th Hour, Blindside, and Blowout. They were good because they had stories, they had individual stories, but then they also had a story involving Dylan and Lacey. So again, we have another very complicated book here. There are several stories. This is Ruth Warnecki's book, and actually she's going to get a second book. We met her in the last book very, very briefly. Now she's in this book and she starts this book off. By the way, I do spoil the characters in the book. I do not tell you who's done it, but I will spoil the rest of the book character-wise. So we meet Ruth, we catch up with her, and she is doing some treasure hunting. She heard about gold in Winkle's Cave. She found a treasure map that was proven to be authentic, not the actual information on the paper, but that the paper was authentic to the time period she had it, authentically traced, whatever. So she's doing this big cave thing, and she gets really close to where her destination is, and she starts smelling something sweet and some kind of gas or something. We don't know that at that juncture, but she starts hallucinating a little bit. She starts getting, yes ma'am, a little woozy, and she ends up passing out, and she is found later outside Dixon Noble's house by his dog with a bump on her head and unconscious. And when she awakens, she has no memory of who she is. Then we have Moses, Grace, and Claudia are two criminals that are on the run. And Moses, Grace, not his real name, but that's the name that he gives Dylan. He is after Dylan. He wants to kill Dylan, because Dylan killed a relative of his. It takes until very late in the book, chapter 31, I think. Don't quote me on that. Until Dylan figures who, Moses Grace's relative is. Most of the book, I'm thinking, I know who it is. And I was right. So, and Moses Grace, they kidnap one of his friends from the Bonamy Club where he sometimes performs. And so they do this big stakeout, and they get away, and the hotel blows up. And so we've got them dealing with Moses Grace, and then we got Ruth. What happened to Ruth? Who hit Ruth over the head? They do investigating, and they finally get back into the cave another way, and they find a dead body, and she's a 22-year-old student, who was very, 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 very talented music-wise, and she went to Stanislaus, and we will see Stanislaus in a couple of other books. And we also get to know Sheriff Dix Nolan and his two boys. And we have the additional murders. While we discover that Ruth may or may not have been there at the time of Aaron's murder, she was left in the cave and posed, and whoever killed her also slightly embalmed her. And then there's a murder of a second individual who may or may not have seen the other individual go into the cave, so maybe that's why he's killed. It's not really, I guess it is discussed towards the end of the book. So there's quite a few twisty turns with this. Moses Grace and Claudia, they come close to catching them a few times. They cause some more havoc throughout the book. They do some bombings. Some other things get blown up. And there is also, while we are dealing with the murders in Maestro, Virginia, where Ruth and Dix are, and Ruth finally gets her memory back, and they do some murder investigation of Erin, the girl that was found in the cave. Then the second person who was killed because he may or may not have seen something. And then a third person is killed. And things are starting to go like, huh? What? Who? What? Why? And so there's lots there. But then there's also an additional storyline that is going to be pursued in the next book in Double Take. And look at the difference. It's so much bigger. It's that much bigger than this book. You can see the difference in the two books. But I enjoy it because we had quite a bit of Sherlock and Savich in it. And I like Dix Nolan, and I like Ruth, and they're good, and I like the boys, and I like their dog. And it's really good story. I hope you are following along with me as we read the whole series. So this is book 10. We have to go until 27. Unfortunately, Catherine Coulter decided to call it quits at 27. She wants to do other stuff. And I was like, couldn't you have gone for an even 30? Maybe she'll come back to it one day. Maybe she won't. I don't know. But I was really kind of upset that she did that. So we will be getting to, I think it's Flashpoint. Yeah, Flashpoint. As soon as we get to it. This is book 10, so we got about 17 more books to go yet. So those are your main storylines. Moses Grace and Claudia pursuing, trying to kill Savich and killing all these other people to get to Savich. The murders of Erin Bushnell and Walt McGuffey and Helen Rafferty. And, what's the connection here? Why did this happen? And there's a lot of extra pieces to it. So we've got the Moses Grace and Claudia were trying to kill Dylan, but also killing other people. The 3 murders that happened in Maestro. And Dix's wife is missing. She's been missing for 3 years. And that will be addressed in here, and we will get to this. I've kind of done a binge read this week, so these books have been sequential in viewing. I still have a huge pile of to be read that I'm going to get to this week. I was doing a data entry project, and I have all of these books on audio, and they were good to do while data entering, so that's how I did the last 5 books of Catherine Coulter. I did them on audiobook. I have all of my JD Robs on audiobook too, but since I did them last year, I couldn't do them again this year. And my Janet's, we did all the Janet too. I'm waiting for the new Janet. I'm waiting for the new JD Rob for February, so we'll be doing those. But those are your main talking points for this book. The three murders, Moses Grace, who is he related to? Why is he after Dylan and Sherlock? Who did they kill of his family that he wants revenge? Who is Claudia? And what happened to Dix's wife? And what is going on there? So please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I can use all the help I can get to get my channel going. Please share it. Thank you so much. And that's going to disappear in a couple hours. Bye bye, tree. Hope you all had a good new year. Have a good one.